Okay, so I'm going to say that's root 3 over 2 is x over 14. That's wonderful. Tremendous. How do I actually solve for x? What do I do then? By 14. So it's going to be 14 root 3 over 2 is x, which I'm going to call then over here x equals 7 root 3. Because that's what it equals here. Okay, so if I go to 30 degrees here, it's adjacent on the hypotenuse. Root 3 over 2 is going to be that. So that's what cos 30 equals. It's the ratio. So I'm just going to then solve like back in grade 10. Right, so then to solve for x, multiply the 14 over. Don't say only it's 12.394.
You could also have sine 60.
It's
You could also have sine 60, right? That's the same thing.
Yeah, sine 60 you could have done the same way, right? So if you would have done, yeah, good point here. So if you remember we said like sine 30, you're on the side, right? The same thing. Now you will need this. Now before I zoom on, I'm going to slow down here. Are we okay on where 7 root 3 came from here? Because you're going to need this. I'm kind of going to close your eyes for 1 sec, so I am. Please raise your hand if you're not quite sure where 7 root 3 came from. Okay. For those few people here, let's open your eyes for 1 sec. Okay. So what I did was, is everyone okay on the cos 30? What I just did is use my special triangle for cos 30. And then x over 14 is adjacent to the hypotenuse. Okay. So then we just solve like regular math then. Okay. So what I did, I wanted to isolate x here by itself, so it's divided by 14. The opposite divided by 14 is to multiply, so it changed to 14 root 3 over 2 and then 14 over 2 equals 7. You know.
But above anything with a 30-degree angle, the one side had to be twice as long as the other.
Yes, but it's this side though. This side is going to be twice as long as this. Not this one. This side is twice as long as this side.
Oh.
So this is going to be 7.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
Okay.
Always?
Yeah. It's always twice as long. The hypotenuse is always twice as long as that opposite side for 30 degrees. Yes.
Why did you pull the root 3 over 2 and why?
Because that's what cos 30 is. Cos 30 is just equal to root 3 over 2. That's what it is. Okay. Now, if you don't believe me, you could have done this in your calculator and said, well, this is 0.866, okay? And you would have said 14. The other way you could have done it is, and I'll do it over here, is you could have just, without ignoring me, you could have said from here, you could have said, well, x equals 14 times cos 30. Okay? Now, in your calculator, you know that cos 30 is 0.866. I'm not using that. I'm just saying that's root 3 over 2. Okay, that's cos 30 is my special triangle, so it's going to be 7. Now let's get on to the actual real level 10 difficulty question. Okay, right here, isn't it? So that's simple, solve for x. Exactly. Okay, let's do something like this. We'll put a 25 in there. We'll put a 10. We'll put a... Oh goodness, this is where my triangle skills fall apart. Okay, go with me here. Go with me here.
3D?
No. Those are 3 triangles. Go with me here. It's a flat piece of paper with 3 triangles connected. Now, please note my triangle skills are awful. I told you this. Now, if you're scrunching up your eyes, we'll draw 1 triangle at a time here. Okay, there's a 45-degree right angle with a 45 with a 10 on top. In the middle, there's a 30 at the top, a right angle. That's supposed to be, go with it. Okay, that's a right angle and an unknown. And then on the right. Did I mention my biggest weakness as a teacher? I told you this yet? That I can't draw a triangle and I stay by it, okay? So on the right-hand side, that's another right angle there, okay?
It's up here. It's a beautiful pyramid.
Okay. Now, when you did these questions first in my grade 9 math class, for that one person in here that was in my grade 9 math class, what did we solve when you see a big mess like this back in grade 9? Because we do this with Pythagorean theorem 3 times. That's who we're done in grade 9, right? What would you have to solve first?
Previous angle, previous sides.
Yeah. Okay, the rule is for these, you want to solve the connected sides. So this is what I'm going to solve first. Okay. This is what I'm going to solve second. And then I'm gonna solve x at the end. So I'm gonna solve that blue line first, which I'm gonna call W. First for you, and then you guys are gonna use that to solve for y and then x, okay? Let's start with W. So I'm gonna redraw a triangle. You don't have to do this. But there's W. There's a 10, there's W, and there's a 45. Okay, how am I going to solve that? Without using your calculator, okay? Am I using sine or cos or tan?
Using cos.
Sure with that? I'm going to use sine for this one. Summer, why is it going to be sine? Why is it? Yeah, it's going to be opposite. Now, cos would work with the other angle, but with this here, so we're going to say sine 45 equals 10 over W. Is everyone okay where that came from before I keep moving? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So sine 45 is 10 over W, so things are looking good here. Okay, how do I solve for W? 10 over sine 45, good. I'm going to say that W equals 10 divided by, what's sine 45, somewhere here. What's sine 45 equal to, please? Yeah, go ahead. 1 over root 2. So W then equals 10 times root 2 over 1. W equals 10 root 2. Okay. The way I used to teach it was I used to do similar triangles. Do you guys know what similar triangles are from grade 10? If you don't, that's okay. The similar triangle method I used to do was this. I have 1, root 2. And I'm changing it to this. Okay, therefore W equals 10 root 2. And that's my similar triangle method. Either one works the same way. Okay, so if you can live with that. This gets more complicated when you get to things that aren't nice, okay, right? But that works out for right now. Yes? Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing for Y. I get you guys to lead me. Now, Alex, I'm snubbing you right now. Okay, I want everyone else to lead me other than Alex. Sorry, I'm snubbing you, okay? Okay, because you've been very good at this so far. Maybe I'm snubbing you too. Okay, so I'm going to draw another 30-degree angle like this. I'm going to rotate my triangle like this. There's 30 degrees. There is Y, and there's 10 root 2. Okay, so what I just did there, Brad, and everyone else, was I just took this triangle right here. This is 10 root 2, and then I just sort of rotate it so it looks like that. Okay. Can someone tell me, please, if I'm using sine or cos or tan for this question? Alex, sorry. I'm using sine or cos or tan? Summer, go. Cos, okay, because we have the adjacent hypotenuse. So I'm going to say cos of 30 equals 10 root 2 over y. Okay, Summer, how do I isolate y, please? Yeah, Billy, go ahead. Good. Great. Can someone tell me, please, what cos 30 equals? Okay, go ahead. 3 over 2. So I'm going to say y equals 10 root 2 divided by root 3 over 2. Okay, the reason I wrote it like that is what? What's the next step after that? Inverted multiply, so I wrote it like that. Okay, so I'm going to call that 10 root 2 times 2 over root 3. So I'm going to call that 20 root 2 over root 3. So you can see why this is getting messy here, okay? And again, if you want to do the, what's it called? Similar triangle method, you can, okay? If you want to use sine law, you can too, because some people like sine law. All right, I don't, all right, but actually I shouldn't say I like Silvertone and sine law. Now this is getting deep. Remember I said this is getting fuzzy at the end here? Do you get the logic of what I'm trying to do here? Like the calculations here are a little difficult. Yeah, go ahead.
It wouldn't have to be closer to like some of the other angles, probably 60.
Yeah, right, if you want to use sine 6, very good.
Okay.
So yeah, if you want to use sine 1 here, which is clear, you don't really know yet that sine 90 is equal to 1. Right, actually you probably do from your graphic if you think about it, right, but yeah, you can do that too. Okay, 20 root 2 over root 3. This is a little painful, yes. Okay, this should be the pain formula, get it? Ha. Isn't it funny that the pain formula is the easiest thing we've done this whole entire year, and it's called the pain formula? Isn't that interesting? All right, so then that's 20 root 2 over root 3, which is an awesome line. That's going to be the hypotenuse now for my next triangle. So we have, my new triangle is going to be, here's x. That's 20 root 2 over root 3. There's x, and it's 35. Now I could just, yeah, no problem, I'm too excited. So what I just did is I broke that first one into 3 triangles. That's what I did there, okay? So doing the same thing 3 times with more increasingly complicated questions. That's what it is. All right, so summary are out now too. Can I get someone else to tell me, set up the equation for that right triangle?
We use 10.
Sorry?
We use, no?
No, hold on. Now, Brad said tan. Okay, the reason it's not going to be tan here, right? Because there's your opposite, right? And there's your hypotenuse. Right? So we're going to say sine instead. So we're going to say sine of 45 equals x divided by y. Okay, now for those people that are zoned out here, okay, because for those people that are zoned out, this is like level 1 out of 10 difficulty in this unit. Like this is like the nice, fun stuff.
That's
Okay, it's getting worse.
this.
It's getting 100 times worse than this.
Can you do like a whole lesson on like those?
Rationalizing? Yes, I'm going to do that right after this, hopefully. We will probably have time, but I can do another recap of it. I can probably do it tomorrow, we'll see.
Okay. Get like how you.
What I'm trying to do
Yeah,
here.
I just don't get the end where you're like.
Okay. Let's just keep going here and I'll see what I can do. So I'm going to have x equals sine 45 times 20 root 2 over root 3. So that's a root 3, right? Okay. And then sine 45 is 1 over root 2. So those cancel, so I'm left with x is 20 over root 3. Well, because x equals right, so I just multiply that out. Right? Yeah, this challenging. This is not easy. You really got to focus on these. Like, very few people in the world, myself included, can just stare at that question and say, yeah, it's clearly 20 over root 3. Very few people in the world could do that. Okay, now I know what's happening.
So fast.
Liam's looking at it, he's saying to himself, yeah, I can totally do that, okay, but it's very, very difficult to get in your head for that, yes.
Should we be able to find like sine 45 is also kind of?
Yes, yes. Okay, now if you can't, don't worry, some, you've done it for like 75 minutes, I've been teaching this for 10 years, plus I learned it for 10 years before that, okay? Yeah, the things to remember from this lesson, the fun one, this is a hard question, don't get me wrong, this is like a very, very difficult question. This is like an assignment thing where you really gotta focus. Probably for your test, I just give you the first 2, that's I probably give you. Okay, right? Because like this one's like getting out of control here, okay? Now, for things for you guys to know today, this is what you should know, is this. So, this is what you should know today. And right, that's the 2 things you'll improve yourself today. Okay, because you're saying, yes, I've signed 45 memorized, but some review of this written here, we would say 45, well, it's going to be, right, one here, those triangles, like, on the beginning of your test, I'd recommend scribbling those 2 at the side of your page there, okay? So, the rest of the stuff was just application, that's all it was. Okay, but these 2 fundamental things are the 2 big things for today.
Can you explain the?
Yeah. Yeah, so what I just did here for this was I just did this, right? Same thing top and bottom. Right, so we just cancel that. And okay, I want to just pause here so I don't embarrass anybody publicly. I embarrass this person privately. not embarrass, but I shall. Okay, so I'm just gonna record the homework so that people can see it. The homework's gonna be page 287. Number 4, 9, 11, 12, and 13. And one of those questions, I can't remember which one off the top of my head, is that like 2 or 3 triangles put together. And please give a good solid attempt on these. I know this is going to be a struggle this year for most people, because this stuff isn't natural. It's not something like, yeah, it just clicks. I mean, a lot of stuff is totally new and a little bit weird, right? So it could cause you this trait to think a little bit differently. So you don't just struggle away a little bit on this. The nice thing is that the home stretch of the course, okay, it's May 5th, which means we're under 2 months, okay, which is nice. What's that? What's that? We have 2 trig units we're doing. There's the easy one, which is this one. Actually, I think the 2 units of equal difficulty to finish up, okay? So I did 3 weeks each one, and that's it then. So we'll have lots on review, I think, this year, I think. We'll probably have like a week to review, which will be nice for the final.
We really have trig left?
So a double trig unit. Basically, the way this course works, there were